All right, Dan, thank you. It is now time for Fox 61's newest segment. It is called First and Finest, and that is where we get a chance to speak with members of Connecticut State Police that discuss topics that affect you and get your questions answered, rather. And right now, this morning, joining me via remote, right outside of our station, is Trooper Doralis, and he is going to talk to us about a couple of topics this morning, and hopefully we can get to all of those. First, we're dealing with technology here. I just want to make sure you can hear me properly.
Aisha, I can hear you clear. Thank you. Hello?
All right, perfect. And I believe we have a little bit of a delay, so bear with us right now. The first thing I want to talk about, just off top, we just got that news yesterday that there is now a travel advisory for those of us that live here in the tri-state. We're talking about Connecticut, New Jersey, and New York. Talk to me about where state police fits into that puzzle. Is there going to be any sort of action done on your part when it comes to that advisory?
No, I wouldn't want to speculate. I think we'd have to wait to see what Governor Lamont says during his daily briefing. So I definitely would encourage anyone looking for any current and up-to-date information regarding the travel advisory, tune into his briefing to try to get the most up-to-date and current information.
And one of the things we've been trying to do during this segment and the real story is to get control of some of the rumors that are out there. One of them having to do with state highway closures. Is that something we can talk about this morning?
Yeah, the rumors circulating the state highway closures or the closure of the state border is definitely an interesting one. We've been hearing it a lot this past week. And I could say right now, as it stands, the state highways are definitely not closed. The state borders are not closed. But I think the reason why people jump to these ideas is because there's such a decreased number of vehicles on the roadways. And I think that has a lot to do with people adhering to the governor's suggestions in terms of staying safe and staying home and adhering to the social distancing guidelines. But yeah, as it stands now, the highways are definitely not closed. They're still open to travel, but we do encourage individuals to stay at home if at all possible and only leave for essential needs.
And speaking of that social distancing, we have heard authorities time and time again tell folks, hey, stay home and stay away from those big crowds. Do not gather with big crowds. Are there any efforts with state police when it comes to breaking those crowds?
Now, we'll definitely do everything we can on our end to keep to make sure that people are adhering to those policies, but we definitely need a lot of help from the public. Individuals at home, we do encourage you guys to just stay home and stay safe if at all possible. Adhere to the 6 feet social distancing guidelines set forth by the CDC. And again, together we're going to be able to get through this, but it's going to take a team effort.
And right now, I want to talk about something great that state police is doing right now. The blood drive that you all had, I believe that was on Tuesday, where you guys invited first responders all around the state to come in and pitch in because there is a shortage when it comes to the blood donation right now with Red Cross. Talk to me about that effort, how it came about, and why you guys think it was so important to do that.
Yeah, so after meeting up with our partners at the Red Cross, we came to learn about the shortage, not only in Connecticut, but nationally in terms of the blood shortage donations. So what we did was we teamed up with them in order to host the blood drives at our state police facilities. Given the fact that our recruits are now telecommuting, it served as a perfect opportunity to open our doors and have them utilize the facilities for that. We had 2 successful blood drives, one on Tuesday the 24th and one again on Thursday the 26th. Our initial goal was to get about 30 people to come in and donate blood, and we surpassed that goal. I think Tuesday we hit a max of 60 to 65 and 70 on Thursday. So it's definitely been a great turnout from the public, and we definitely appreciate that. A lot of what the American Red Cross have been doing to ensure that the people coming in are coming into a safe environment is that the fact that they're being pre-screened prior to coming in, temperature checks. We're adhering to the 6 feet social distancing guidelines. People are definitely spaced apart, and they're cleaning the beds before and after every blood drawing.
And a topic I want to make sure we get to as well before we let you go this morning is when it comes to your recruits and just how COVID-19 has impacted that process there.
So, in an effort to prevent the further spread of the COVID-19 virus, what we did on our end is we were having the recruits telecommute. They're tuning in daily with the academy staff and basically picking up on the curriculum that they would have been picking up on if they were actually in the state police facilities. We're still holding them to the very high standard that it is to be a Connecticut State Trooper. And again, all that's just being done remotely from home.
I just got my 1 minute warning, but I want to make sure we get this story in there. Earlier, there were you had a trooper who was able to rescue 2 German Shepherds that were running on the highway. Your reaction to that?
I think it was just an amazing story. Trooper Cody Picard actually was working patrol in Troop D in Danielson on the 20th, and he got the call. He responded to the area of Interstate 395 in the area of Exit 50. Somehow managed to corral both German Shepherds into his cruiser and contacted local animal control in order to figure out who the owners of these German Shepherds were. Fortunately, this story had a very happy ending, but I think it serves as a reminder to all us pet owners out there to just be responsible in our decision making, making sure that our pets are safe and our neighbors are safe at all times.
All right, Drew, we want to thank you for joining us this morning with our First and Finest segment, which those of you at home, you can catch every Sunday during our 8 o'clock hour where we're able to have these conversations right now remotely because of COVID-19, but hopefully we'll get some of your questions answered as we continue with this segment. But right now, still ahead on the Fox 61 Morning News this morning, we are talking